Charlie Crowson's up in Firestone right now. Charlie, what's the situation where you are right now?
Guys, it is still raining as it has been now since just after 11 o'clock this morning. We came on the air with you just afternoon. At that moment, you introduced you to Wendy King. She's a woman. She and her husband, JJ, are going around to ranches of anyone who might need to shelter their horses. And this is exactly why. You see down the road here, well beyond our vantage point off of County Road 26, there's a bridge that is washed out here. Pardon me, that's County Road 13, where the bridge is washed out. And you were talking a few moments ago, 100 roads in Weld County completely closed and washed out, and we want to show you why right here. You see down the road, we've talked to a few construction crews. The only way out where we are, just at the Firestone town limit, is east down 26 to 19. You can then take 19 south. You cannot go north. Once again, all washed out. You see the high waters off to my right here, and then over here on 26. You see this car? You see this truck? Take a look at this. We got two cars right now trying to go through. A large Ford dually style truck is making its way through this. This is not advised. This is not advised anything you would want to do in a situation like this. This road's been washed out now since Thursday. A number of ponds and irrigation ditches from the farmlands, what's led to this flooding. Now, the driver of this Mustang is clearly using a little bit more of a clearer idea of what to not do. He appears to be about 16 years old, so he's using good judgment toward not doing that. This house, we just learned, this house was the first in this area to flood. The owners of the house left on Wednesday night, and by Thursday afternoon, this house is in more than 1.5 feet, 2 feet underwater. Now, we were telling you a few moments ago about Wendy King. She and her husband going through, trying to help people who have horses. They've got 5 acres down on 26 East here where they're going to be housing these animals until they can, until the floodwaters recede. But a lot of people have been losing their homes too. I want to introduce you right now to 2 people, Doug and Pamela. They came to our position just 15 minutes ago. You just returned from your house and you got everything out you could.
Well, there was where we could with what's coming on. We just figured we better get what we can and get before we get stuck.
All right, now Pamela, this was the first time you've been back home since Thursday, right?
Yep. Yes.
Now you went back for some specific things. What were they?
To get my goldfish and my mom's charm. This is my mom's charm that has her ashes in it, and that's all I wanted. And I didn't care about anything else. We got our horses out. We have an 8-week-old colt. We did find places for him, but we need hay and grain. And we got us some clothes to get by with, and we got out just in time before the water started rising again.
Started rising again. Now, Doug, Pamela referred to you as her guardian angel. You were able to come through. You laugh about that, but you're really coming through, playing the role to help people out when they need it the most. What are you seeing as you're coming up and down these county roads?
Devastation. I mean, it really, I guess, until I saw my house today, it really took and hadn't hit me how, you know, the strength of God can take and do what he can in a flash of an eye or something like that. But I'm so glad that people are taking heed to what the Boulder County Sheriff and the Weld County Sheriff and everybody's trying to take and do. We probably wouldn't have attempted to dig and do what we've done if there had been danger, but we were able to get by a gravel pit that's right by our house and put a fence across, and was able to go in about 1 foot of water and get in and get some things so we can attempt to try to live.
All right. Now, you were telling me this was the first time you had been back since Thursday.
Right.
What was the situation like on Thursday? That was just the second day of this.
I drive a tow truck in Boulder, and my girlfriend and a bunch of wonderful people took and got the horses out that day. And when I got back, I didn't realize the severity of what was going on here. She told me the dune buggy, we got a little dune buggy, and a friend's car was in the back that came back to try to help us. And when I went back to try to get it, the water, they had just gotten out with the horse trailers and the horses and stuff like that and barely made it over the bridge before it went out. And I was able to come down the road and get to where the opening of our driveway was, and water was already over the top of the gates and stuff, and the cars were submerged. I tried effortlessly to try to get back there to get the things, but the water was just coming in too much, and I just had to take and give up on it. I don't usually give up, but I just didn't think it was worth trying to
You had no other choice.
No other choice. Yeah.
Now, you were there watching all this as it unfolded. This was all you wanted, but you had so many other things that you may not be able to get back.
Well, we have horses. We got some clothes that were hanging up out, and everything else is gone. Everything's gone. Everything's pretty much gone.
What are you guys doing right now?
We have some awesome friends in town that have a house that are letting us stay there. Our horses are at different farms, and I just appreciate everybody that's helped us. We'll try to get you some food for them. And my son's my hero also.
Why so?
Because he was right there trying to move the horses to higher ground, and we moved them 4 times and moved panels, the horse panels, 4 times to keep the babies and all the horses out of the water, and he just kept moving them, trying to keep us all together because I wanted to stay together. And then my friend Cheryl went and got her horse trailer, and we just barely got the last load of horses that were going over that bridge that's out down there, and the horse trailer started swaying, and when they opened the back of the trailer, the water came out, and the baby was like half standing in the water full of the trailer.
And your son helped save that colt.
My son did save all of them. My son saved every single one of them.
Now, are they all doing okay right now as far as you know?
Yes, yeah. I want to take them some food because I'm so appreciative.
Now, as far as the provisions for the horses right now, I understand you guys need hay. Is that right, Doug?
Hay and grain. We had just taken and gone out and bought bales, and her son Patrick, he's a guardian angel as far as I'm concerned too, because he tried to lift those big bales and get them out of the water and stuff like that. They're gone. They did everything they possibly humanly could, and it's just to no avail. It just wasn't going to happen. So yeah, the thing is what we had is gone, so we're going to take and try to see if there's people out there that can take and help us now. If they can, awesome. If not, we'll survive. We've been through bad times before, and we're survivors.
And even as you guys need help right now, Pamela, you were saying you are more than willing to help people if you can.
Absolutely. If we can get hay, we have trucks, we have horse trailers, and if you can, I'm Pamela Patrick, and you can find my number, and we'll get you horse trailers, and we'll get you taken care of because we do have connections.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. My apologies for your loss, but good to hear the horses are doing okay and the two of you are doing okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for this. These are the stories, guys. Thank you and take care. These are the stories you'll hear time and time again as this continues to unfold here across parts of the state. Once again, we are in Weld County at the intersection of Road 13 and 26, one of the 100 roads right now in Weld County that are completely blocked out. Some people are trying to go through this flooded part. This is not advised. This part of Road 26, County Road 26, has not to be advised to go through. There are 2 trucks coming down right now. It's very likely they're going to try to go through this washed out part again. This the result of an irrigation pond and a number of ditches and reservoirs breaking their banks, breaching this area, flooding this out. The water's still very high. The rains are beginning to subside out here, so we're actually able to take a step back, catch our breath, my photojournalist and I, seeing exactly what's going on. You're going to watch this truck go through. We want to show you this one more time. More heavy trucks. They think they can go through and do this. We're going to show you this. Not advised. We talked to a number of the highway patrolmen and highway workers out here who have been going through, checking the barriers, checking the cones. They're saying don't attempt something like this. This is not a good decision. Those cones, barriers, road closed signs, all up for a reason. And it's to avoid things like this, because moving water can move a car. It doesn't matter how heavy your vehicle is. You are still in danger, putting yourself in danger. But you see, once again, just since we've been with you, 2 trucks have already gone through and tried to do this, and a car also tried to do this. We're going to stay out here in Weld County. 100 roads closed right now. The rains are letting up. Let's go back to you guys in the studio. 4/7 News, Charlie Krausen. Let's go back to you guys.
Yeah, you just never know how deep that water is, Charlie. I know people are going to call and ask us about the hay and the grain that those folks were asking for. Any suggestion on how they could connect with those folks? Or I'm not sure in Firestone where they're telling people to meet up.
What we'll do What we'll do real quickly here, they have not left our position just yet. I'm going to get a phone number and contact information for Pamela and for Doug. We're going to get that into the newsroom, and for people who might want to call in to help them out with their horses. Again, 6 horses and an 8-week-old colt. They did say from the rising waters. We're going to get that information into the 7 newsroom so they can then dispatch that information to those who may want to help. They need hay and they need grain. Those horses do have shelter right now, Ann, but they want to be able to get them proper food and provisions, and they said whatever is given, they will give back in kind, a bartering system, if you will. For if you can help them, they'll certainly help you in return. We're going to get that information, though, into the newsroom in just a few moments.
Yeah, you know, they touched a whole lot of hearts with that.
Yeah,
it was heartbreaking, definitely. Yeah. Any chance, Charlie, your photographer can just zoom in a little closer on that house behind you? I know you said the rain is letting up, but boy, it still looks like it's coming down. So maybe if we can just get a better perspective on how hard that rain is falling out there. Because, you know, sitting at home, it's hard to tell, but
well, it's not really falling. It's not really falling that hard. I'm not in the shot right now, but to give you an idea of just how deep it is, the rain is not nearly as severe as it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. But we got a stick out here. We'll use this as kind of a makeshift ruler, I guess. But this was the first house on Wednesday night that was evacuated here in Weld County. The owners got out Wednesday night, came back on Thursday morning, and you see the results of this. Now, Doug Hill, who we just spoke with, Doug Miles, said that this was the first house that caught the brunt of all of this. But just stepping off, this is probably not a good idea either. Yeah, this goes up to about half of the stick, so that's about 18 inches. 18 inches just stepping off here. This is one of the lower lying areas, though, out here in this part of the county, all the water collecting here. They got out Wednesday night, have come back trying to get some stuff out if they could, but, I mean, obviously they weren't able to get into this. If it's 18 inches here, you can only imagine the further you go to that house, and it's going to be 2 feet, possibly even more. So anything in that house is probably going to be a total loss.
absolutely.